not good on video.
You look wonderful.
Yes. very natural.
Fantastic.
How you doing today?
Very good, thank you.
Enjoying yourselves in Bermuda?
Enjoying it very much, Tim. Thank you very much.
Pleasure. Pleasure. These here?
Yes, this is the
This is really company.
Dynamic duo.
Where are you guys from?
New York. New York City.
All right.
Pay for him sometimes.
Not at all.
Looking like this, or you guys might not like it.
What's
I'm
that?
I said me dressed like this.
I love it.
I'm just
I love it. I like to be the center of attention. Look, I'm wearing.
Bad big clip. First one burnt on in the early 1880s. It was burnt on by arson. This one was built in 1884. Officially completed around 1887. And to be ensured that it was going to be completed, because what they wanted to do was to have it completed so that they can officially become the city on Queen Victoria's Jubilee. Now in those days, to become an official city, the highest point has to be the point of the steeple of a church. You can't build anything higher than the steeple of the church. Hence, that's why they wanted to rush it, and it had to be incorporated. They wanted to be incorporated in 1897. In doing so, they built this building with 3 different types of stone. You have the Bermuda stone or Bermuda block, which is sedimentary rock that you find around the island, which they were cutting out. So they had to pour it out and then bring it up here. That's that grayish type stone that you see. That's Bermuda stone. Also stone from Nova Scotia, which is that yellowish type block stone. That came from Nova Scotia. From France, it's called Ken. It's a type of stone called Ken stone from Paris, from France. Also in keeping with seafaring days, a lot of people think that it took great architecture to build our homes and stuff like that. Anything about great architecture, what they did was turn the ship upside down. So we built our homes with pretty much the frame of an upside down ship. And you'll see it when you go inside. If you go inside for a few minutes and look around in there, and you'll see the frame of it. Pretty much, if you did the same thing with our homes, if you left it all open, pretty much the bottom of the ship and upside down. It's just a frame. We'll do this setup here. Sucker. Natural AC. And so you have to open up the doors and windows to get a police here. And notice that the pulpit in the hottest spot over there is to listen to the priest don't speak too long. You get hot up there. You want to get outside. Sessions House is the official move to make Hamilton area built, and it was around 1817 that Parliament started to meet. 1821 was when Hamilton officially became the capital, when everything had moved. So it was officially the first official Parliament meeting was 1821. The other part of the building, the Italian part of the building, the wheels of labor in Bermuda because of the heat and the snow. So by that time, the rest of the building was built was completed around 1874. Housed in here also is our Supreme Court. So every now and then you will see we still dressed in the wigs and the robes. So just as we are British, so that's why. So our system is that so that everyone is seen on the same level. Yes, Sunday. So yes, it's still our Supreme Court is up here, and usually court case, and the larger court cases that are in, you'll see people up here. Today being Friday, DP's in, Parliament's in, Parliament's meeting, so, and it's open to the public. The public does go in, can go in and watch Parliament. Take a break, can't be any member of color. Obviously everybody take ready to their stick and they will go, and he would after a while, he would, this salmon color building down there was actually a blacksmith, coffee type shop, black citizens building. So people ventured down there. Being that a lot of Bermudians were water at the time, so a lot of captains, when they came in for coffee and stuff. Also, when new ships came in, obviously captains wanted to go where captains are, so they would also meet down there. So he was coming back every time and talk about what was going on in places, stuff that they never even heard about, and wondered where he was getting information. So they started watching him, and they started watching him go down there. So eventually, Parliament, members of Parliament, when they had their tea breaks and stuff, instead of staying there in the house, they all ventured down there, and that became known as Little Parliament, because they would all venture down there for a little cup of coffee or tea or whatever. That's cool. We started to think about Hamilton. Everybody with the money, or the big money people, they already had big pieces of property on the island and stuff. So they all thought business-wise. But then the families with small money, stuff like that there, or smaller families, thought about residing. So they wanted to reside in Hamilton. So they started building up north side of Hamilton. So the north side of Hamilton became the residential area, and South Hamilton became the marketing area. So while they were now thinking that the marketing area will be the highest priced area and stuff like that, what happened is because of the waterbed in Hamilton, you can't build buildings much bigger than what they are, but you can in the residential area. So now the residential area has become a very profitable area. So we're going to take a walk through and you'll see the melting pot of Bermuda. The Bermudians, there's no such thing as a Bermudian. Anything that's real Bermudian here is maybe the cedar trees and the rock wood that you're walking on. That's Bermuda. But real Bermudian people are a mixture of everyone that comes here, everyone that's lived there. So you'll see that mix in there. You'll see, for instance, it's funny, but you see a black man with blonde hair and blue eyes and none of it's colored. It's just regular, thing. You'll see all of that. All around the island, you'll see that mixture of all the cultures, of the British, with black, with thing. And also what came on later on is Portuguese. Portuguese were enslaved in Bermuda. They came mostly on as farmers. They were brought over as farmers for agriculture and stuff.
What about
North American Indian, they were enslaved there. They were enslaved. That's her ancestry. You can see that by her hair. And then they took mostly, actually at one stage, most of them were in the St. David's Island area, which is down in St. George's. The St. David's, if you go across from where the airport is, all that is St. David's. And the American Indian were mostly in that area there when they started to I mean, even growing up as a child, they still encompass that area.
Really?
Yeah, it was probably in the last 20 years or so that they started to really spread out throughout the whole of the island.
I was just about to say.
Go ahead.
I was just about to say, my fifth grandmother was actually an African slave.
Oh, so great! Well, I see. Welcome home.
Yeah. That's right.
But she was Indian in you as well.
That's right.
Yeah, Indian as well.
It's a mixture of many.
Oh yeah, see, that's people you really don't know. So if you go against somebody, you could be going against a relative. You don't know that just because your skin's fair today or your skin's dark today. That doesn't mean anything.
That's right.
You know I mean,
nothing at all.
Well, we're all human, and until they prove me that somebody came down here and Martian and they got a third arm, and because they're Martian or something like that, then
actually
we can say
we might count some Mars.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm actually from Venus because I'm a love goddess. No. Gotta pay the toll. Can't tell the story about paying the toll.
Good morning. Fine, thank you.
Great. Enjoy the day.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's a toll for me to come to this street. So what roofing is that whitewash that you see, the white stuff that you see is wrong. It's a lime wash. That's to kill germs. When the water hits it kills germs in the water. Right? If you look around any stream or any
Bermuda.
lake, yes. any water that's fresh water lake in the ground itself is lime. That's what keeps the lake pure. That's what keeps the lake enough for drinking, pure enough to drink. Well, that's what we developed, is that, okay, why can't we just use lime on the roof? That's all we have. That's our filter. That's the only thing. Everything else goes down to the tank and then it's pumped up from the pump and drank out of the tap.
So that water is very clean.
And so far, we haven't had anything before water. Don't drink the water in Bermuda and all that stuff. And,
until they think of privatizing it.
Yeah, until some big corporation probably comes in and then stops. Actually, they should come down here and bottle it. I don't mind selling my tank of water for them.
That's right.
$1.50 a bottle.
That's right. North to south, and got caught in a storm. Where it came to Bermuda that they needed help, then we go help them. So some of our ships went out to the Enterprise to help them. Yes, you can't block me. And boarding the Enterprise, one of the guys saw a movement down below, and they asked the captain what type of cargo he has. He said, well, I have dry cargo, dry goods, no people on board. So knowing that that was a lie, usually what happens, they'll bring the ship in, and they'll bring him in either St. George's or Dockyard because it's closer to going out to the ocean, going back out to the ocean. This time they brought him right into Hamilton, Bars Bay Park. Once coming into Bars Bay Park, they put the captain and his crew under ship arrest and called Customs and Immigration. Customs and Immigration went to check on the ship, went to see if anybody was on board, and they found 35 people on board. What they were doing, knowing that Bermuda was emancipated in 1835 and the British was in emancipation, that it would soon come to America, but what they knew that the South was the strongest area that would be the last to do it, so what they were doing was smuggling slaves from the North America to South America, to the South, so that they could try to keep people in slavery as long as possible. What they did was they brought all 35 people down here to the town hall here and had the justice come down, and they were each asked individually whether they wanted to stay in Bermuda, be free and stay in Bermuda, or get back on the ship, because we had a treaty with America that we'll send all Americans back. And if even fighting, if they find a Bermudian, they will send a Bermudian back to Bermuda. We would never keep each other prisoners. So in that, everybody on there said yes, except the woman and her children, because actual fact, they had paid passage to the South because her husband had a piece of property down there that they were getting, that she was the only one that was paid. Everybody else was being smuggled down to the thing, and so they were freed here in Bermuda. And another still in connected with America is that your first black House representative, Joseph A. Rainey, is actually a descendant of that, and the reason why he was able to keep his American status, because they think he is actually born in Bermuda. His family used to in a barber shop down in St. George's.
My descendants, Mary and Henry Warfield.
See, they were on this ship as well. There you go, another American descendant. We had a big, was it last year, 2 years ago, last year? We had a big family reunion for all the families that were connected with the freedom of the Americans that were freed and stayed in Bermuda. And they some of them still kept their American citizenship. Paid for was a rich family, and they came down. So what they did is they he's so happy. Watch this. We'll see him tomorrow. All right, you can smile now.